In Washington, pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian groups have taken their causes to the president's front door. There have been protests, marches and heated debates about the violence in Israel and Gaza. These have been peaceful but passionate demonstrations involving people from both sides of the divide. In front of the White House, Mikhail Probezin has been exercising his First Amendment right to free speech. But he's been surrounded by those who disagree entirely with his perspective on a conflict which has once again drawn the focus back to the problems of Israel and the creation of a Palestinian state. As an Israeli Jew in Washington, Probezin wants people here to understand how difficult it has been for people in southern Israel to live under the constant threat of rocket attacks from Gaza.
I'm from the city of Beersheba, which is 35 kilometers out of Gaza. We have been getting rockets for the past 7 years. And right now my parents are sitting in a bomb shelter. I've been calling them, and every time I call them, there is an air raid siren and they have to run for hiding. While my parents are sitting in a bomb shelter, I cannot let these people say these horrible things. There is not a single sign here against Hamas. Not one. There is not a single sign here against Assad, which has murdered 40,000 Syrians. This is a protest against Israel and against the right of the Jewish people for self-determination, and I will speak out.
In and around the US Capitol, protests have expressed support and sympathy for civilians on both sides of the divide. This pro-Palestinian march snaked through the Capitol, past the State Department and onto the White House.
Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine!
Protesters say they want to offer a contrast to America's stated support for its rock-solid and unwavering ally, Israel.
At the end of the day, whether Obama is in or not, he's going to go for Israel because that's the best interest. What's the interest in supporting the Palestinians, honestly?
If you actually talk to the civilians and avoid more of the government leaders and more of the people that we're constantly seeing day in and day out on televised news, I think majority of the people are looking for peace. After all, Palestinians and Israelis are cousins. We know how to act like it. And it's a nation with multi-religions, multi-races, multi-ethnicities, and it's got such a deep and rich history.
By contrast, Mikhail Probezin says he's proud of the support the US government is providing through this crisis.
I'm very appreciative of President Obama and of the American support they have issued to Israel. I'm especially thankful for their American support for the Iron Dome system that has saved my family, truthfully. Before that, it was launched about a year ago. Before that, places really close to my house were hit, devastated by rockets from Gaza. And after that, very few rockets land, so I'm especially appreciative of the American government support of that.
Mikhail hopes a ceasefire will come, but is wary that a truce, while stopping the immediate conflict, may not prevent further bombardments of his home city, and may not address the underlying issues which conflict the region. Here in Washington, arguments about Middle East politics can often sound strategic, politically motivated, and rather detached from the events themselves. But while the debates continue on both sides, those who come out to demonstrate on the streets are showing their concern for the issues and the civilians who are caught in the middle. This is Nick Harper for JN1 in Washington, D.C.